Now, the Boy Scouts of America, one of the largest youth organisations in the US, has filed for bankruptcy. The group says it's to ensure compensation for sexual abuse victims. Last year, it was revealed that more than 12,000 children had allegedly been abused while taking part in Boy Scouts activities. A list of more than 7,800 suspected paedophiles was disclosed last month. Well, the Boy Scouts of America was founded in 1910. It has chapters in every US state and close ties to the churches and other civic groups. At its peak in the 1970s, the Scouts had more than 4 million members between the ages of 5 and 21 years old. Those numbers have dwindled to approximately 2.2 million today. Well, joining me now from Seattle to discuss this in more detail is Jason Amala, an attorney and partner at the law firm representing more than 300 of the alleged sex abuse victims. Good to have you with us on the News Hour. You're representing the victims. Do you regard this bankruptcy as a victory of sorts for your clients?
Yeah, the bankruptcy is I guess it's a win and a bit of a loss for our clients. It's a win because the Boy Scouts are finally on some level acknowledging responsibility for thousands of children being sexually abused over the past almost century now. So on some level, it's a victory for our clients. But on the other hand, most of our clients, they want fair compensation for what they went through. But more importantly, they want to know what happened. They want the truth to come out. And they want to know who knew what, when did they know it, and how did this happen to them. So the Boy Scouts making general statements now that they made some mistakes, really for individual clients is not enough. They want the Boy Scouts to acknowledge that in their particular case, they made a big mistake, and that big mistake is what led to their abuse. So it's bittersweet for our clients.
In terms of the organisation itself, I mean, the Boy Scouts of America, it's an American icon, really. It's not necessarily shuttering its doors, but what do you think this development means for the group itself and the legacy it leaves?
We'll see. I mean, a bankruptcy in the United States, it doesn't necessarily mean that they shut down, and that's really important for people to understand. It also doesn't mean the Boy Scouts don't have any assets to compensate people. What it means is that there's so many claims that they're facing now and that they may face in the future that they want a bankruptcy judge, one judge, to basically take all the claims and then decide what's a fair way to take the Boy Scouts assets and distribute them to abuse survivors. To your question, what does this mean for them in the future, this American icon? I don't know. I mean, I don't think that bankruptcy is going to be what causes the Boy Scouts to shut down. The Catholic bankruptcies, there's been about 20 bankruptcies in the United States involving the Catholic Church. All of those entities emerged and continue to operate. So I think the bigger issue is for the Boy Scouts is what it means for their reputation. I mean, Boy Scouts, the name is equivalent to American Pie, right? It is an American icon. Now what you're seeing is people are finally understanding with this bankruptcy that not every scout leader was a good guy, right? That's their brand, that's their reputation. And so I think that's the concern is parents today understanding now this big problem they have and whether or not they want their kids to keep being in Scouts. On the other hand, as you've mentioned, their numbers were already dwindling, right? The Scouts today, a lot of parents don't necessarily want their kids to be in the little uniforms, right? And obeying left and right, like military, right? They really haven't evolved. So if they don't survive, I don't think it's going to be because of this bankruptcy, because of the financial side of it. I think it's just that they haven't evolved over time and they've kind of lost touch with reality or where society is today.
OK, Jason Amala, good to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining us live from Seattle to discuss this case.